Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe. Now today's video is going to be super fun and interesting because it's about social media. And most of us are already hooked onto our phones and are mindlessly scrolling through Instagram and Facebook for a significant amount of our day. But if you use the tips that I'm going to be sharing with you today, you could still be doing that. You could still be on your phone, but in fact, you would be using the same time to be working on your pageant journey. So first things first, when you enter a pageant, it could be on any level, doesn't have to be a national or international title. Even if you have a sash and crown that tells that you are a representative of any township, any city, any district, you have become a public figure of sorts, and there is an implied agreement between you and the pageant organization that yes, you are a public representative of their organization, and because of that, there comes a lot of perks, obviously, but at the same time, there is so much responsibility and you have to behave a certain way. You can't just act like your normal self, probably the way you would do at home all the time, especially out in public when people are looking up to you and noticing you. And so, social media becomes very important here. What you post on social media is perhaps even more important than how you conduct yourself in person, because the reach of what you're going to be posting on your social media is a lot more than your immediate circle, than the people you actually met. And once things are out on the internet, it can go anywhere, it can reach anywhere, people can share it, send it to each other, and secondly, it is permanent. So even the slightest mistake that you make will reach a lot of people. People will talk about it. At the same time, if you conduct yourself really well, even the good aspects will reach a lot of people. So it is up to you how you use that social media to your benefit. And if it still doesn't sound important enough to you, then you should remember that every or most pageants have a subtitle that is focused on a contestant's social media presence and engagement. So in Femina Miss India, the subtitle is called Miss Multimedia, and in TGPC's Miss India, there is a subtitle known as People's Choice. And winning these subtitles gives you a direct entry into the top 10 or top 12, whatever number they've been shortlisting. So you realize how important it is to be on social media. So as always in this video, I'm going to be sharing a few tips with you that you should keep in mind while you're posting anything on your social media. Once you are in this area of pageantry and there are people looking up to you, so this is going to be before, during and after your pageant journey. It's not just that for those 2-3 months you have to be careful. This has to be a constant practice. Number one on my list is to showcase your personality through social media. And now what this means is that how you are in person, you can still use social media to your benefit. So you may be an introvert in person, but when you use Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, wherever you're promoting yourself and the pageant organization as well, you can use a lot of skills to your advantage. You can showcase your personality through your witty captions or funny captions based on what kind of person you are, or through your outfits. You can do OOTDs and people will get to know, okay, maybe she doesn't talk much, but she has a great fashion sense. Or it could be through the stories that you put, or IGTV videos, or reels. That's the new thing. So if you're into that, showcase your personality through these things. Even if you're not so creative all the time, it's okay. You can still learn as you go. Another thing that you can do is try to engage with your audience through your stories. So don't just be posting pictures, also talk to them. Go live as frequently as possible, maybe not too much, but enough so that the audience knows the kind of person you are. Sometimes they know you through your pictures, but they don't know that once they, get to know you even better, they might like you even more because of the way you talk, or because of your thoughts, or how you interact with people saying hi on your live. So these tiny things make a lot of difference, because public opinion is important when it comes to pageantry, and all of these things put together are definitely going to help you do that. The second thing that you should be keeping in mind is that always try to give credit to your sponsors. If any designer, stylist, makeup artist, anybody who's helped you with your pageant preparation, don't forget to give them due credit and promote them also on your profile, because you are becoming a public figure, and so they will obviously benefit from that. And the second thing that you should remember is that you should always be reposting those stories, because you'll realize that as soon as you enter a pageant, there are all these pageant pages and fan pages that are going to make predictions, are going to post your pictures, are going to write about you, what they think about your performance. So make sure to be reposting their stories, their posts, and thank them, obviously. So in a way, you would also be promoting their pages and you form that bond of goodwill. And another thing to remember is sometimes it's possible that these pageant pages are being run by people who are somewhere there in the pageant in some way or the other, and so their opinion of you might make a difference to the result. So it's just good to, be likable, especially in a pageant. And if you're that girl who isn't reposting, doesn't thank them, is not grateful, which is a very important quality and characteristic trait that they look for in a pageant title holder, so the opinion formed wouldn't be that great and that might affect your result. So make sure that you come off as a very warm, kind-hearted and grateful person on social media. The third thing to keep in mind is to talk about why you're in the pageant, what is happening in the pageant, who are you meeting, what happened on a day-to-day basis. Keep your fans, keep your audience updated. They love that. And also, for example, when I was in Miss India, so I posted every single day what happened, because somebody out there is probably following my social media and they want to participate the next year or the next 2-3 years. So it's definitely going to help them. And anybody else who's following you, your college friends, your school friends, your colleagues, anybody, they would always be interested in knowing. They don't want to just see random pictures of you popping up here and there because they don't understand what is going on. So it's always a nice thing to do this, that on your stories or at the end of every day, tell your audience, okay, we had these events today, then we had a shoot, and people like to feel, more and more involved in your journey. So that's a very good practice to be having on social media. And at the same time, keep posting your pictures about, what designer you wore at a certain event, if you made an appearance, if you were invited over to a lunch or a dinner by someone, make a thank you post for that person, for that organization. Just make sure to keep your audience updated and that you're like keeping everyone happy. That is something you have to do in a pageant. Tag everyone, thank everyone, give credits, and make sure you don't miss out on posting about anything important. The next thing that you should be keeping in mind on social media during your pageant journey is to know what not to post, because there are so many people looking up to you and you have become a role model of sorts. So it's very important that you don't post anything inappropriate. You are representing a pageant organization at the time, and so no matter what you do in personal life, that is separate, but what you post on social media is going to reflect not just you but a lot of other people and the community that supports you and the organization that backs you. So some of the things that you should remember is, for example, if you are under 21 and are legally not allowed to drink, then don't make the mistake of posting a picture where you're holding an alcoholic beverage, or if somebody else is doing that. So don't post anything that you should legally not be doing in the first place. And the same goes for, say, smoking as well. Now, smoking, there's no legal rules about it, but it's not the best habit to have. So even if you do that in your personal life, keep it private maybe. Don't post it on social media, because there are a lot of young girls looking up to you and you don't want to be setting out that example. And another thing that you should be keeping in mind is that while you're taking any picture, don't forget to just check what is there in the background. And this is one of the reasons that during fashion shows in green rooms, they tell you not to click pictures, because sometimes this has happened that a girl clicked a selfie or she just posted a picture of herself in the trial room, but she forgot that there was somebody changing in the background and that went on social media. That is a major fiasco. You don't want to accidentally do that. Yes, it wasn't intentional, it was a honest mistake. But as a public figure, as someone who has so many responsibilities, you should be very careful about what you're posting. So don't forget to always check what's there in the background. If there's anything, anybody else who might not want that picture of them to go on social media, ask permission, make sure there's nothing wrong with it, okay? And the last thing that you should keep in mind is, this is my personal suggestion to you guys, is that even though the pageant is Miss India, Miss Diva, so you wouldn't be engaged or married, but even if you have a boyfriend in personal life, try to not post too much PDA before and during the pageant on your social media, because although there's no certain rule about this, but then the pageant organization, this is an unsaid thing of sorts, where they do want you to maintain that miss image. And so if you keep constantly posting pictures with your boyfriend, um, it's not the most favorable thing to be seen on a pageant contestant's social media. So, but if you still want to do that, you may, but maybe just, try to strike a balance and not overdo it, because you are in a pageant and people look up to you as a miss, and so let that image stay. And number 5, and the last tip that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, is that don't make your social media all about the pageant. The pageant is important, it should be highlighted on your social media, but the audience should not think that she's just a pageant contestant. As I said at number 1, showcase your personality. So that means even outside the pageant, what kind of a person are you? You should always have something else beyond the pageant as well, so that the audience feels like they know you better and she's more relatable. And the next thing that you should remember at the same time is that while you should be posting about important events and appearances, your social cause, all of that is important to the pageant, but at the same time, don't forget to post about other days that come up. So there are a lot of days, and this is important because one, that hashtag is trending, so it's going to help your social media profile get a boost. So for example, there's Mental Health Awareness Day. Recently we had World Suicide Prevention Day. There's Earth Day, Water Day, any other day that comes up. Basically, you should remember that try to post some content regarding this. And I say this tip from experience, because during my Miss India journey last year, I was this close to getting the Miss Multimedia subtitle, and I did not. And if I had won it, I would have been in the top 12. So yeah, that it's a mistake that I regret, maybe, because later on I did ask the org, and I don't know how much of a difference this actually made, but they said that you hadn't posted about World Earth Day and Water Day and some other days, and that most of my social media engagement was revolving around the pageant. And while I regret that, but I would obviously recommend all of you to not make the same mistake that I did. And in case, I'm not sure, but in case that was the make or break thing between me getting that subtitle, then yes, remember to do that. And the last thing that I'm going to add here is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Make sure that you are consistent across all 3 platforms. Don't just put all of your effort into Instagram. Don't put all of your effort into Twitter. You need to have an equal weighted presence and engagement on all 3 platforms. The organization does monitor that. So if you keep in mind all of these tips that I just shared with you today, I'm sure they will help you be better prepared for your pageant journey and stay on top of your social media game. Whether it's pageantry or even if you're just a public figure in some other area, social media these days plays a very important role in your growth, the opportunities that you get, the audience that gets to know you, your reach, and so many other things. We don't realize the power social media has. Elections have been won through social media campaigns. So it's very important. And that's a wrap for this video, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. I'm pretty sure you did. So please do give this video a thumbs up. Do subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't already. We're so close to 5K, guys. Thank you so much for your love and support. The YouTube family is growing by leaps and bounds, and I'm so thankful for each one of you. Also, don't forget to follow me on my Instagram so that you don't miss out on the workshop announcement. I am working super hard on it, guys, and I'm so excited to announce the details. But more on that later. Let's not drag this video any further. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye-bye.